metalheads, it's Blackmetalwerewolf making a brand new video for you this week. And today I want to discuss the age-old question of nature versus nurture. As in, does someone become a metalhead because of preconditioning from an early age? Or is there some other reason that we can't quite explain that leads someone to become a metalhead? So I think it's safe to say that essentially every metalhead has their own little story to tell about how they got into metal. Be those stories interesting or not, that is completely up to the listener. But essentially ever since I started doing this YouTube channel and people started watching the videos, I've been able to collect plenty of stories of people telling me how they got into it. And it really started getting me thinking whether or not someone becomes a metalhead because they were raised that way, preconditioning nurture, or they just somehow slipped into it and there was some sort of natural attraction to it. Now on the nurture side, I've had plenty of stories of people telling me their mom and dad were into metal, or brother, sister, or friends, and they played the music around them all the time, and then they were able to just grow into an appreciation for the music. So that definitely lends plenty of credence to the nurture side of it, that they were raised around it, they adapted to it. It's nurture. But I've also acquired many stories of some random schmo living their regular life in a regular middle-class family, or lower, or richer, or whatever the fuck kind of family they were, and, you know, never really listened to metal before, and then boom, one day they heard the music, and they were hooked just like that. Personally, for me, that is pretty much what happened. I remember growing up, I knew my dad was into bands like Black Sabbath and Judas Priest, and he really liked this guy named Ozzy. But as a little kid, he never played that kind of music around me. I think pretty much the only exposure I ever had to that kind of music is a couple times in the car, Crazy Train would be on the radio and my dad would turn it up. But, so I wasn't really raised around metal. My dad never played any old vinyl. My mom wasn't into it at all. My brothers never really played any of their music around me. And I just kind of grew up thinking that I didn't like music. Growing up in the small farming town that I did, everyone really liked country music. And I just remember always hearing it and thinking, you know, this really isn't my thing. And, you know, anytime Eminem would release a new song, my buddies at school would be like, oh, isn't this song great? And I'd be like, yeah, no, not really. I'm not feeling it, you know? So I just kind of grew up thinking, you know, music isn't my thing. But then one day, my older brother threw me his old piece of shit MP3 player, and it had some metal on it. And I just sat down and I listened to it, and the fucking wires connected, man. Like, there was some sort of natural, immediate attraction that in my brain, it was just like, this is it. I don't know what this is, but let's dive deep and find out more about it. So there's quite a bit of evidence to support the nature part of it too. But as I was thinking more about this subject, I started thinking, was it really nature that kind of drove me towards my like of metal? Or was there some sort of unconscious preconditioning to get me that way? Like I've said plenty of times in the past in my videos, ever since I was a little kid, I've always been interested in, I guess what some people would say, dark things. For example, I was always into monsters. I always liked the bad guy in movies. I remember the first time I watched Star Wars, I didn't give two shits about Luke Skywalker. I wanted to know more about Darth Vader. Whenever I watched Frankenstein, I was like, when the hell is the monster going to be on the screen? Show me more of the Wolfman. Where's Dracula? When I was a little kid, I always looked forward to the Halloween specials of any TV show I liked. So, in a way, is there a possibility that my just like of monsters and the bad guy and dark things, in a way, preconditioned me to like darker type music? I suppose that is an interesting theory. I have really no way to investigate that theory and dive deep into it to really prove or disprove what I'm saying, but I'm just kind of thinking out loud that there is a possible subconscious nurture factor that may confuse people to think that is nature. And before I started making this video, actually, I was talking with a friend and just kind of spitballing, you know, hey, I got this idea for a video, let me know what you think. And their idea was, is there a possibility that there is some sort of genetic factor in someone to like that type of music? And then they said, you know, they weren't saying this to offend me or to make fun of metalheads, but they say an awful lot of metalheads certainly do look a lot of alike. So is there some possible genetic feature in someone's DNA that gives them a certain look and then therefore gives them a certain attraction to a type of music? If there is some sort of genetic factor, that definitely wouldn't lend itself to nature, because genetics aren't learned behaviors, it's something that's kind of built into your DNA. Once again, I have absolutely no way of being able to produce any evidence to prove or disprove what I'm saying. It's just an interesting theory that someone just kind of floated by me, and hey, it's worth bringing up in the video, I thought. Usually in my videos, I try to take a firm stance on something one way or another. Even though I do like to look at things from different angles, I usually have my soapbox that I like to stand on. But this is one of those subjects that I really just can't give a definitive answer as to yes or no, one is right, one is incorrect. Because, you know, when it comes to nature and nurture, there's evidence to support both, and not just when it comes to things like someone's taste in music. You know, is someone born a criminal, or were they preconditioned from an early age to do criminal acts? Is someone naturally violent, or are you raised that way? Is someone naturally like a father or a mother, or is it the household you're brought up in? Just when it comes to the subject of nature versus nurture, there's just so much evidence weighing one way or another. It's out of my hands to be able to say yes or no one way or another. All I know is I can give you guys my experience, and like I said, it very well could have been subconscious preconditioning, but just for me personally, I'm kind of leaning towards it was kind of natural. It was just a matter of time until I came across that music and, you know, the wires connected and I became a metalhead. But of course, I want to get your guys' opinion on all of this. Do you think that someone becoming a metalhead is a nurture standpoint or a nature standpoint, or do you think it's a combination of both? Let me know what your guys' stories about how you became a metalhead. Was it a nature situation? Was it a nurture situation? Please give me your theories, your stories, anything you guys have to say about the subject down in the comment section. I'd love to know what you guys have to say about this. Because for once, I'm kind of up in the air. I don't really know what to say. Yes or no? No or yes? Bit of both? Neither? You guys tell me what you think. And now, like my past videos, I either do an album recommendation or an album warning. And this is another recommendation for you nature and nurture metalheads. I got this CD in the metalhead box, I don't even know how long ago. It's all starting to blend together at this point. Anyway, the band is Helgardh. The album is The Black Flame Descent. I was listening to this the other day, just scrolling through my music. Gave it another listen. Absolutely loved it. Figured you guys would love it too. My personal favorite tracks on the album are Blessings from the Funeral Pyre, The Black Shrine Offering, Abomination, and A Palace of Fading Light. But the entire album is good. Those are just my personal favorites. So once again, the band is Helgardh. The album is The Black Flame Descent. Check it out. I think you will really enjoy it. So that's it for today's video. If you like what you saw, don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave me a comment letting me know what you thought of today's video, checking out some of my past videos, and sharing them with a few of your friends while you're at it. If you want to keep up with me on a more daily basis, you can follow me on Facebook and on Instagram. I also have a P.O. box open. All the info is down in the description. Just a heads up, I am in the middle of getting more patches made up and possibly some t-shirts, so keep an eye out for that. And finally, thank you very much for watching, guys, and don't forget to stay brutal.